This is Kane Cornes, and this is what really happens when a pain-killing injection goes horribly wrong. Well, today we're going to go back to 2006, round 13. Melbourne are playing Port Adelaide at the MCG. My brother was having a very solid season. He was probably nearly at the peak of his powers, but he was coming into this game under the weather. He'd fractured his collarbone the previous week, and there was some question marks whether he would play. He's one of the toughest players that I've ever played with, Chad, and some of the things that he did on the field were absolutely crazy, running back with a flight of the ball and putting himself in situations that a lot of other players wouldn't put themselves in. But he was sore and he was feeling uncomfortable. The advice that he'd had from the doctors was that he would be fine, but he might just need some local anaesthetic, so an injection just to numb the pain so that he could get him through the game. So that was the plan they came up with. He was going to go into this game against Melbourne, get an injection in the collarbone, then he should be fine to play and contribute on this day. I remember in the pre-game warm-up, Chad and I would always have a kick with each other and warm up and have a chat and check in with each other and how we are feeling. I remember he came up to me and he said he just was feeling completely off. He wasn't sure what was wrong with him, but he had a weird chemical taste in his mouth and he was really struggling to breathe. I said, oh, look, it's probably just some nerves, run it off. Once the game starts, you'll be okay. It's a funny feeling, but as a brother and when you are playing with your brother, you've always got almost like a sixth sense of knowing exactly how they're tracking in the game. So certainly you know how you're performing as an individual, but you've got a heightened awareness of how your brother is going and your sibling, and that was certainly the case for me. And I knew during the first quarter he was really struggling. This wasn't the usual Chad that we're used to seeing. He was playing on Cameron Bruce, who had the tagging job on him, and regularly I saw Bruce running away from Chad and getting the footy, and Chad was just unable to go with him. So at quarter time we came in, and the late great Phil Walsh was senior assistant coach at Port Adelaide at the time, and he went straight up to Chad at quarter time and said, mate, what is going on? You just don't look like yourself. And Chad said to him, Walshy, I don't know what's going on, but I got this weird chemical taste in my mouth and I can't run. Bruce keeps running off me and I can't run. The second quarter resumed and status quo, really. Cameron Bruce continued to have a pivotal role in this, and Chad was unable to go with him. And halfway through the second quarter, it was another doctor. Now there's two doctors, club doctors on the sidelines. The other one that didn't administer the injection realised what had happened and he twigged. So he took Chad off, he had a conversation with him, and he'd realised that the pain-killing injection that was supposed to go into the collarbone had actually punctured Chad's lung, and he'd been playing a quarter and a half of footy with a punctured lung. So they quickly rushed him off to hospital. There was panic, as you can imagine, and Chad said there was a procedure done at the hospital under no local anaesthetic where they shove a tube into your lung to reinflate the lung. And he described it as the most excruciating pain that he has nearly ever felt. We all flew home after we lost to Melbourne on this night. Whereas Chad stayed over in hospital, he wasn't able to fly. He had to drive back with one of the staff members from Port Adelaide, and he subsequently missed the next 3 weeks. I've always had a huge respect for him, for the way that he's played the game, for how tough he was and courageous and what sort of a teammate he was. But my admiration and respect for Chad on this day grew exponentially after I realised he'd played a half a footy with a punctured lung. So that's the story of what happens when a pain-killing injection goes horribly wrong.